Okay, good day everyone. So this is part one of a series of videos that will be covering uh, the finals lecture for Reliability Engineering AEE 683. And for this first part, I'm going to start you guys with essentially a review, no, for the prelim and midterms. Now starting with reliability. Okay, so let's recall no what is reliability. Okay? So previously, 'di ba? We said that reliability is the probability that a system or component uh, is performing its intended functions under specified um, Tama. Reliability is the probability that a system or component performs its intended functions under a specified operating conditions for a specified period of time. So, ito yung ginawa nating meaning or definition for reliability. Tama? And with that being said, let us break no this definition down carefully because every part na tong definition na to is important. So, first is let's look at the word probability. Okay? Probability. So again, probability here, it states that reliability is based on probability. Okay? Meaning, reliability is not absolute. It's a probability. Okay? It's only probable. So we don't say, um, let me put that here pala. No? Reliability is based again on probability, meaning reliability is not absolute. Okay? So meaning we don't say things like the system will never fail. Okay? Kasi you're in that statement you're saying na sure ka na hindi magfe-fail yung system. What we say rather in reliability engineering is we say that this component or this system has a high probability of surviving for a certain amount of time. That is the proper way of stating reliability and probability para sa mga systems and components para sa reliability engineering. Again, we do not say probabilities or failure rates as something that is certain and absolute. We state that it is a probability. Okay? So next is to perform its intended function. Tama? Perform its intended function. So another part of the definition, it clearly says na dapat it's performing its intended function. So again, a system may um, still be physically operating, no, gumagana siya, but um, may function siyang kailangan gawin. Okay? So if it's not doing the function even though it's working, functioning is different from working, okay? Kasi working is something physically done by the system. Okay? But for the function itself, the manufacturer or whoever is going to use the component set kung ano yung function na kailangan gawin. So for example, you have an aircraft engine, no? Yes, it's rotating, it's working, but if it's not producing enough thrust or it's not producing the sufficient thrust needed as a function, no? Yun yung function niya, it's to create sufficient thrust. Though it's rotating, kung hindi niya na-produce yung enough thrust, operationally, it has failed. Okay? Hindi siya reliable. Okay? That's what we mean by performing its intended function. Another example would be, for example, if you have a battery, no? Your battery may contain energy, pero if it cannot provide enough voltage, functionally, it's not doing its job. It has failed. Okay? So, in reliability engineering, um, failure is often defined as the functionality rather than the physical capability of the system. Okay? We're looking at the function, not uh, the physics nung actual system or component. Okay. The next, we also have under here is the definition specified operating conditions. So, again, like yung sinabi natin kanina, may function siyang kailangan i-reach. And also, in reliability, it's also going to depend, no, sa operating conditions. No, so yung system natin, it must attain its function and also it must attain those functions in a uh, condition. Okay? So for example, um let's say a machine, no? It needs to do its function tapos yung may conditions din na set. It must be operable at high temperature, under heavy loads, or maybe sa corrosive environments, or like high vibrations, no? Yun yung mga na-set na condition. And if it's going to function under those conditions, we will generally state na yung component is reliable. Okay? It has high reliability. So, if it's not able to do the function in the conditions na for the material, we will say it has low reliability or even a failure if it's not functioning at all. Okay? And then another thing under this definition is we have here yung specified period of time. Okay? Specified period of time. So for specified period of time, this is one of the most important parts dito sa definition natin. Kasi reliability is time dependent. It's a function of time. Okay? A system that is reliable for 1 hour may not be necessarily be reliable for 10 years. Okay? It's doing its function, no? But if you want the component or the system to be actually working for a long time and it cannot do that, no? We will still not call the component or system as something reliable. Okay? For example, again, kunwari meron kayong light bulb, no? Maybe it's working perfectly today, but after thousands of hours, its probability of failure increases. So as time increases, yung reliability natin, it decreases. Okay? So that's your review again for reliability. Another key term that we talked about before, no, is the maintainability of a system or component. Okay? So, recall, no, yung reliability natin again, it focus on um, essentially preventing failure. Okay? Or focusing on making sure that the system or component is doing its intended function, specified operating condition for a specified period of time. But engineers must also prepare, no, for what happens after a failure occurs. Okay? So this introduces again another concept that we call maintainability. Okay? Maintainability, for definition, maintainability is the ability of a system to be repaired, restored, or returned to operational condition within a specified amount of time. Okay? Simple as that. That's our definition for maintainability. So, in importance, a system, again, may fail occasionally, but we can still consider it highly effective kapag it can be repaired quickly or it can be maintained or maintained in a simple way, yung downtime niya minimal lang, or yung replacement parts niya accessible, no? So even though it occasionally fails, kung yun nga madali siyang i-repair or maintain, there are instances na we can still call that component or system highly effective. So for example, let's say you have an aircraft now with moderate reliability, but yung kanyang maintainability excellent. This component may actually be more practical than a system na may slightly higher reliability but extremely difficult to repair, no? So we might actually go for something na maybe a little less reliable pero the maintainability is excellent. Kasi if we include yung maintainability sa whole lifespan nung item, we can actually might concur na yung component na yun or system na yun is more reliable. Okay? So, important engineering insight here is, again, reliability and maintainability are closely related pero different. Yung reliability natin, it reduces frequency of failure. Tapos yung maintainability natin, it reduces yung consequences nung failure. Okay? So, let's put that here for this one. Okay? So again, important engineering insight for reliability and maintainability. Reliability reduces the frequency of failure while maintainability reduces the consequences of failure. Okay? So, talking about failure, syempre, let's define failure. Okay? Kasi to understand reliability properly, we must, again, clearly define what failure means. Kasi failure is going to pop up a lot in this whole series of lectures. Kasi it's our main um, index, no, for calculation. So again, to understand reliability properly, let's understand it. So in reliability engineering, failure is almost the opposite of reliability. Kasi failure is the inability of a system or component to perform its required function within a specified time. So almost again, no, opposite siya ng meaning natin for reliability. If it cannot do its intended function under specific conditions, specific time, we may consider the item or the component or the system a failure. Okay? So but like I said before, failure does not always mean yung total destruction nung item, ha. A system um may operate, no? It can partially operate, pero we can still consider it a failure if again, if it cannot satisfy operational requirements. Like I said before, no? Yes, it's working, but it's not reaching its function. So we can consider that component or system a failure. So again, failure rate is not simply the number of failed components. Um, Instead, no, um, we can also consider yung failure rate as how quickly surviving components are failing. Okay? Yung failure rate natin is dynamic. So it can increase, decrease, or remain constant over time. So let's talk about, simply yan lang yung definition natin for failure. If it cannot do its function on an intended condition, we can consider it as a failure. And as an index, we can solve for um, the failure rate of an item. Okay, let's start with failure rate. So, yung failure rate natin, lang. Okay, so for failure rate, essentially again, this is um yung how quickly surviving components are failing or ilan yung mga components na nagfe-fail, no, depende sa given time. So, doon tayo makakakuha ng failure rate. And yung failure rate natin is dynamic. It can increase, it can decrease, or it can remain constant over time. So, for the failure rate, yung kanyang symbol ay, wait, anong, lambda. Okay? Oops, ang laki. Okay. So moving forward, ang gagamitan designation for failure rate or the symbol for failure rate would be, yung notation natin would be the Greek letter lambda. Okay? Lambda. And for the unit ng failure rate, it is usually expressed in failures per hour or failures per cycle or failures per operating period. Okay? So, ang formula natin for that would be lambda is equal to the number of failures over yung ating operating time or the cycles. Okay, this is how we're going to be quantifying our failure rate. Lambda is equal to the number of failures over operating time or cycles. Okay, and yung unit natin dyan can naka-per, uh, usually time. Okay, failures per hour, failures per cycle, or failures per operating period. So if we're going to have an example para makakuha ng failure rate, sige, let's have here an example. Sample. Let's say you have 20 units, 6 failed at the following hours. At 550, 480, 680, 790, 860, and 620. So if all units are to run 1000 hours, given the data, what is the failure rate? Okay, so that's our example problem. So again, pinapahanapan tayo ng failure rate, so lambda. Okay, so failure rate, lambda is equal to the number of failures. Check. Sabi, 6 yung failures. 6 failures. And then, over the operating time nung buong batch. Okay, sa 20 units. Yung buong operating time na itong 20 units. So, we know na um, alam natin yung operating time na itong 6. Okay? Kasi nag-fail sila at this hours. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, we can include itong mga hours na to in the total operating time. Okay? So, meron tayong 550, oops, plus 480, plus 680, plus 790, plus 860, plus 620. Pero, yan lang yung operating time nung 6 na nag-fail. So, kailangan nating kunin yung failure rate ng buong batch. And yung buong batch, meron tayong 20 units. So, we have to take into consideration also yung operating time nung successful na units. So, plus, ilan yung successful units natin? 6 yung nag-fail, so 14 yung successful units. Tas ilan yung kanilang operating hours, no? So if all units are to run 1,000 hours, etong 14 na to, they successfully did 1,000 hours each. So we have to include that to the operating time. Okay, so ito yung magiging failure rate natin. 6 failures over operating time nung nag-fail plus operating time nung nag-succeed. So pag kinompute natin yan, that is, again, 6 over 550 plus 480 plus 680 plus 790 plus 620 plus quantity 14 times 1,000. Okay, so I got 0.000350,467 Puwede na 'yan. And again, since, rate 'to 'no, most often time percent yung sagot natin sa, um, dito, okey? So, 'pag pinercentage natin 'yan times 100% lang 'no, times 100%. So, this would be 0. Move lang ng dalawang decimal, 1, 2. So, that's 0.035. So, roughly 'no, ito yung ating failure rate for this given problem. So, for 20 units na may 6 na nag-failed at this following hours, and if yung kanilang intended function was to run to 1,000 hours, yung failure rate nitong buong batch na to was 0.035%. Okay? So, that's how we're going to be getting the failure rate of a system or a batch. So, number of failures over operating time or cycles. Okay? So, that's failure rate. So, next, so again, we already rediscussed reliability, maintainability, and failure. And if we're going to synthesize now yung tatlong yon, again, yung tatlong yon, they are concepts na strongly interconnected, especially for reliability engineering. Yung failure natin is yung mga event na ina-avoid ng engineers. Yung reliability naman is yung measure, no? Measurement on how to provide yung or how to avoid, I mean, yung failure. And then yung maintainability is how efficiently yung system natin recovers after a failure. But um engineers, no, don't or other people, they don't typically ask for the failure rate, no, of components system. What more often is asked is um a description, no, on how long systems operate before the failure occurs. Okay? Again, madalas hindi tinatanong anong failure rate ng component na 'to. Ang madalas na tinatanong is gaano katagal bago mag-fail yung item na 'to. So, this would lead us to two extremely important reliability metrics, no? So, aside from the failure rate, we also introduce yung mean time to failure, the MTTF, and mean time before failure, or the MTBF. So, again, these are two extremely important reliability metrics that we are going to talk uh, for the reliability indices. Kasi, again, in reliability engineering, one of the most practical question, rather than asking what's the rate ng failure, it's how long the system operates before failing. So, engineers, they tend to answer questions such as how long do aircraft components typically last, or how frequently does machines break down, or when should maintenance be scheduled, or how often should components be replaced. And all of these can be answered by knowing the MTTF and the MTBF. So let's start with the mean time to failure first. MTTF. Okay? So definition natin ng MTTF ay mean time to failure, or MTTF, is the average operating time before a non-repairable component fails. Key term here is non-repairable. Okay? So what are non-repairable systems or components? So non-repairable systems, these are the components that are typically replaced rather than repaired after a failure. So again, non-repairable systems, hindi na sila nire-repair pag nasira na sila. Okay? So for example, light bulbs, mga fuse, mga bearings, mga batteries, or other electrical components, more often time once they are depleted or pag nasira na sila or it cannot do their function anymore, rather than repairing them, simply we discard them and then replace them na lang. Okay? So, yun yung pagkukunan natin ng mean time to failure. Okay, average operating time before non-repairable components fail. Okay, we can also consider MTTF as a representative ng lifespan ng component. Okay, kasi essentially, it's from start to finish lang, tapos pwede na siyang discard. So essentially, that's the whole lifespan nung item, the MTTF. Okay, then we also have yung mean time before failure, MTBF. So what is MTBF naman? So if MTTF is applied mainly to non-repairable systems, um, the opposite can be said for the mean time between failures. So for mean time between failures, ito naman yung, oops, mean time between failures or MTBF is the average operating time between one failure and the next failure in a repairable system. So ang kina-quantify naman natin dito is for the na cycle or operating time is an average ng multiple operating times kasi we can repair between operating times. Okay, so this is for repairable systems kasi many engineering systems tend to be repairable rather than non-repairable. Okay, so for these systems, engineers use this metric we call mean time between failures. So yung key difference again is yung system. If it's repairable or non-repairable. Okay? So for meantime before failure, yung system natin is repaired, tas returned to service after failure. So examples of repairable systems would be bigger systems such as aircraft engines, industrial machines, power generators, vehicles, computers, um, yung mga ganon. Okay? So for uh, repairable systems, yung kanilang operating cycle mostly tend to be a repeatable cycle that would start from yon mag-ooperate siya, and then magfe-fail, and then we can repair, and then babalik siya sa for operation, it would fail, and then repair again. Okay, yun yung repeated cycle nung repairable systems. So, itong MTTF tsaka MTBF, how do they relate to reliability? Essentially, or generally, yung higher MTTF, no, indicates higher reliability. Higher MTBF also generally indicates better system, no? So, systems that fail less frequently, they tend to have larger MTTF and MTBF values. Okay? So, meron din tayong formula for calculating these two. Okay? And well, moving forward, we can just use no one representation para dito kasi parehas lang naman sila ng um so dito outcome value. Depende na lang sa system na kino-cover natin. So if the component or system is non-repairable, uh, yung value we call it mean time to failure. But if the system is repairable, we call the value MTBF or mean time between failure. Pero parehas lang sila ng equation. Okay? So that is, yung notation natin for that would be, um, let me just check. So eta. So eta gagamitin natin for MTTF or MTBF. Depende again if repairable or non-repairable yung system, but parehas lang yan. So it's 1 over failure rate. So if it's 1 over failure rate, ibig sabihin, kabaliktaran lang siya nung failure rate natin. So ano bang formula ng failure rate natin? It's failure over operating time. So babaliktarin lang natin siya ngayon. So it becomes operating time or cycles, no? Kasi depende kung ano yung unit na gagamitin natin over number of failures. Okay? So, yan yung way natin para makuha ng mean time to failure or mean time before failure. So, using the same equation right here, pagbabalik rin lang natin anong kakalabasan. Okay? So, gamitin natin yon. Eta, ano yung magiging mean time to failure netong system na to, netong problem na to. Okay? So, copy natin yan, 6 failures. Oops. Yan yung number of failures natin. And then, copy natin to. Dapat yung number lang. How do we do this? Like this. Yan. Yan na lang, lagyan lang natin yung linya. Yan. Okay, so again, operating time natin, 550, 480, 680, 790, 860, 620. Ito yung operating time ng mga failed units plus yung operating time ng successful units na 14 units times 1,000 hours per unit no, na successful over the number of failures, 6 failures. So, ang kalalabasan ng MTTF natin or MTBF or ETA is equal to, kabaliktaran lang yan. Tama? So 550 plus 480 plus 680 plus 790 plus 860 plus 620 plus 14, 1,000 hours over 6. Okay. So ang sagot dyan would be 2,996.6666667. So since naka-hours yung taas natin, unit niyan hours over failures. So, ibig sabihin, for this particular batch, no, for this 20 units na may 6 failed that is following hours that are intended to run 1,000 hours, ang kanyang mean time to failure is 2,996.66 hours, no, bago siya mag-fail. So, ibig sabihin, yan yung average natin per 1 unit. So, yung 1 unit natin, we can expect it to run for roughly 3,000 hours bago siya mag-fail. Okay? So, yan. Yan yung pagkuha natin ng mean time to failure and mean time before failures. Okay? So, moving forward, now that you know na paano kumuha ng failure rate tsaka ng um, mean time to failure and mean time between failure, let's put it into an application, no? So, let's go over or back dun sa failure rate natin. So, kasi for failure rate, meron tayong three major behaviors. For failure rates. Pwede ba 'to? Yup. Okay. So for failure rate, meron tayong three major behaviors for failure rate. Una, decreasing failure rate or yung failure becomes less frequent over time, usually caused by early manufacturing defects or weak components failing first. And then we will see a constant failure rate also, no, yung failures that occur randomly lang at a relative stable rate. And then, you also have yung increasing failure rate. This happens naman kapag yung failures natin become more frequent as the system ages. So, I believe familiar na kayo sa tatlong behavior na to. Kasi we've discussed no before yung bathtub curve. Tama? And etong tatlong behavior ng failure rate na to is evident sa bathtub curve. Tama? Yung changing behavior ng failure rate over time, again, it leads to one of the most important concepts sa reliability engineering. One of the most important graph or curve sa reliability engineering, the bathtub curve. Okay? The bathtub curve. So what is the bathtub curve? So yung bathtub curve natin is the graphical model that describes how failure rate changes throughout the operational life of a system or component. Not all systems and components have the bathtub curve, but in general, um, taking into average all systems and components, this is usually the um, curve that we can see na paulit-ulit or yun nga, most common on systems and components, the bathtub curve. Okay? So if you're familiar with that, wait lang, let me pull a picture ng bathtub curve. Oops. Hmm. Well, di kung yung. Okay, the bathtub curve. So again, this curve is extremely important sa reliability engineering kasi it helps us understand no, the most common trend for the failure rate ng mga bagay-bagay. Okay, it shows us when failures are most likely to occur. Um, Also, sometimes you will see on bathtub curves kung nakalagay din yung mga causes ng failure and yung types of maintenance. So, let's explain this bathtub curve. So, yung y-axis neto is yung failure rate, no? Vertical axis represents the failure rate. Yung horizontal axis natin, it represents yung operating time or age nung system. Okay, how about the shape? Yun nga, kaya nga tawag siyang bathtub curve. Ganyan, kasi mukha siyang bathtub, no? So, at the first region, we have yung infant mortality region. Dito sa gitna, you have the useful life region, and then yung sa bandang dulo is yung wear out region. Why is it called bathtub curve? Again, kasi it looks like a bathtub, no? High at the beginning, and then it dips down, and then you have a plateau, and then it curves up. Okay? So, if you will look at yun nga, the values, you would notice at first, at the beginning, yung failure rate natin is high and then the failure rate decreases and stabilizes. And then finally, yung failure rate natin, it increases or rise again as the system ages. Okay? Dito sa infant mortality region, um, in this stage kasi, again, yung failure rate natin starts high. But generally, gradually, it decreases within time. Okay? Yung mga failures kasi dito on this region, they are usually caused by early weaknesses or defects na already present dun sa system. Okay? So, common causes nun is yung mga manufacturing defects, yung improper yung assemble or poor yung material quality or mali yung mga dimensioning, no? Maybe mali rin yung installation. Okay? And then, yun nga, of course, on a batch, no? Syempre, yung weakest components, they fail first. Kaya, yun, dito sa first region, madalas makikita nyo mataas yung failure rate. Okay? And then, sa region 2 natin, useful life region, yung second region natin, again, is called the useful life region. In this stage, yung failure rate natin becomes more or approximately constant. Okay? This means yung failures natin that would happen on this region, they occur randomly rather than because of aging. Okay? At this stage, yung yung mga early na defects natin, yung mga defective components natin, they have already failed, no? So you're looking at components na yun nakalagpas ng infant mortality region. Okay? But dito hindi niyo pa makikita masyado yung wear out, no? Hindi pa nag-i-start. Ito yung region na yan. Okay, it's called the stable operations region. Okay, the system is performing normally. Failures can only occur pag there's something unpredictable, no? Yung mga random failures lang. And then again, on this region, ito yung lowest failure rate natin. Okay, this region is commonly modeled using yung exponential reliability distribution. Okay, so we'll be going over yung uh, exponential reliability distribution after this, no? And then, yung last region natin is yung, of course, yung wear out region. Okay? This is where the systems begin to physically age. Okay? So, yung final region, again, is yung wear out region. Yung failure rate natin, it increases within time. Yung physical reason ng increase na yun is, again, yung components, they gradually degrade as they age. Common causes, yun nga, gamit na sila, repeated loading, yung environmental damage, it already accumulated, mechanical frictions, no? Yung heat damage components over time, and also, of course, property. Yung property ng mga materials, they deteriorate naturally. So in this region, failures are no longer random. They are expected. They are predictable na. Yung failures natin becomes increasingly related sa aging, no? Because of the accumulated damage. So for example, yung batteries natin, of course, battery capacity um, gradually decreases over time. Kasi um, yung energy na produce ng battery from this discarding energy, umiinit yung battery natin. And over time, yung init na nararamdaman niya, it slowly chips away at the components of the battery. Okay? So, yep. So, that's yung bathtub curve natin. So, we now understand, no, yung failure rate natin again can decrease and then remain constant and then increase over time. So, the next question is, um, how can engineers mathematically model all of this behavior, no? How can we mathematically model itong failure rate decreasing and then yung failure rate at a constant, kailan magkakaroon ng random failure, and then itong exponential increase, no? Paano rin natin i-model yung curve na yan? So, one of the most powerful tools that we use in reliability engineering is what we call the Weibull distribution. So, um, let's discuss this on the next part of the lecture. Okay?